Ontario Premier Doug Ford was in Thunder Bay this afternoon. The Premier, with Kevin Holland and Peng You, his PC candidates, were at Heddle Shipyards for a discussion with local media.
Well, we're with two great candidates. Peng You, thank you for coming, and Kevin Holland. I've always said, and I say it to everyone I meet in Thunder Bay, that we need a strong voice at Queen's Park to represent the people. And unfortunately, right now, NDP and Liberal, there isn't a strong voice. You know, we have a very clear choice in the upcoming election. If you want a party that's going to get things done, create jobs, build infrastructure, highways, roads, and bridges, make sure that we have the infrastructure for the hospitals, no matter if it's the correctional facility that we're building or supporting Alstom with $350 million between the GO rail along with the TTC rail. We need to continue having a strong voice for Thunder Bay. And you have another choice. You have another choice that I've seen for 4 years. I can't even tell you who your MPPs are because there is no voice down there. And the ones that are down there, they say no to everything. They want to set up committees and meetings after meetings, and you know, nothing gets done. We've seen that over 15 years before we took office. Now we have the province moving forward, and we're going to continue investing into the infrastructure across this province in good paying jobs, making sure we give money back on the license plate fees, cutting tax by 5.7% per litre, and then we did the 4.3 earlier on. I'm all about creating jobs and giving money back to the people. That is rightfully their money. But I'll be more than happy to take any questions.
What specifically, I guess, can you do to bring more private business, to spark more private business in a place like Thunder Bay, where, I mean, quite frankly, we do rely on a lot of government type of jobs and government subsidy jobs?
Well, we'll just talk about one sector that's going to be connected to the north, the critical minerals. We're strong believers in working with, first of all, our Indigenous communities. We have a great partnership with them. That's going to create thousands of jobs from the critical minerals. That flows all the way down to southwestern Ontario. We're going to be the #1 leader in North America on electric vehicles and battery manufacturing and automotive. But excuse the pun, but the gold mine's up in the north where all the critical minerals are. And it's just a clear contrast. You know, when we were building roads and bridges and highways, the NDP, they'd rather put up a roadblock and protest the developments. They'd rather protest getting new homes, affordable homes. We get it done, and that's the difference between ourselves, moving things forward, and creating a climate and environment for companies to come here and invest. Under the Liberal NDP government, I say the Kathleen Wynne-Del Duca government, we lost 300,000 jobs here in Ontario. As we stand here today, there's 550,000 more people that are employed. We have 338,000 more jobs. Our biggest challenge is we need more people. But again, people will have a very clear choice, and the options are pretty straightforward. You either get a party that does nothing and talks nonstop, or you get a party that moves things forward and invest into the people, and invest into infrastructure and housing and hospitals, and that's what we're going to do.
You mentioned the correctional facility. Why has it taken your government more than 4 years to break ground on that project?
Well, we've invested the largest investment in any government with correctional services of $1.2 billion with a B, $1.2 billion across the north, and we're going to continue pushing to get the shovels in the ground, cut the red tape and the regulations. Obviously, we go through permits through the city, and sometimes there's a little bit of a challenge, but we're knocking down the barriers there.
Can you talk about funding for training programs? For example, the $9 million?
I think that was a great program where we invested close to $9 million, $8.7 million, training people. And as one of the young guys said to me earlier, you know, he's been around for years, but we need younger people to come in to the trades. Trades are absolutely critical. We're investing hundreds of millions of dollars right across the province in trades, and we're going to continue doing it here, and that's why we invested $8.7 million, because we have confidence, number one, in the people here, and number two, with Heddle. They're an incredible company. And we also really pushed the federal government to get contracts. A lot of the contracts were going to another province. We were able, with collaboration of the federal government, to get some contracts for our friends here in Thunder Bay and the rest of the Heddle organization.
In the north, there's a huge unemployment level in a lot of the First Nation communities. What can be done to get those people working on jobs in this new economy you're talking about?
Yeah, great question. I call it the future economy, future automotive sector, and the more we can go out there and support them, which we have, and work collaboratively with them on mining. Mining is huge, forestry is huge, and we've signed a deal with Webquay First Nations. We also signed a deal with Martin Falls to get the road to the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is critical. We have 2 roads going up there. We're almost done the EAs that the First Nations communities are doing, and then we have the main road that's going up there. But it's not just the Ring of Fire. These folks fly everything in. They fly everything from gas and food and you name it. And now this is going to change your life. They're going to have proper health care that they didn't have or weren't able to have someone just drive in there. They're going to have fuel. They're going to have fresh groceries. I spoke to one person, First Nations community, and he said, I get fruit, but it's frozen and it costs me a fortune. Right away, that stuck with me, but we take it for granted. We can go down to the local grocery store and buy fresh fruit. These folks don't. But they should reap the rewards of not only having a great job in these communities, but also be able to have the health care and the food and the gas that we all experience. We take for granted. But we're going to continue working hand in hand with them, and we have a phenomenal relationship with the First Nations community. We're going to continue to grow that.
Okay, thank you guys.
No, it's just a general cargo.
The opportunity with the Premier wrapped up with him cutting some edges off of a steel plate with "Get It Done," the Premier's slogan for the campaign. If you like this video, hit the like button. James with Net News Ledger, keeping you up to date here in Thunder Bay, Ontario.